sometimes it's changing the way we were taught as children, the way our parents taught us, the way that we were taught in school. Zoo-phonics is very different. And so it's getting used to the kind of the peculiarities of zoo-phonics, and it's the specific peculiarities of zoo-phonics that makes all the difference in the world. For instance, and again, this all goes back to Gigi, watching how children learn, and so I think, you know, keep that in mind as we're doing this. But as we're working with children, we're seeing that this is just tough. First of all, you can't cuddle up to a letter. This is very cold, very linear, and flat, one-dimensional. And so children truly perceive this as work and drudgery. If they get it, it's one thing. If they don't get it, it's very, very uncomfortable for them. And so this becomes their world. And if they're not understanding it fully, and sadly enough, a huge percentage of our kids don't completely get it. Not a small percent, but a huge percentage. And so we, you know, as we're living with these kids and watching them every single day, we realized it's the abstractions that they don't get. They don't get this similarity. You look at this, then look at this, and try to make the sounds peep and d. They're so similar. P. They're all very, very close. So auditorially they're similar, and in looks they're similar. And then the other thing that we do is we say, here's an A and it says ah. And so what we have is we're showing children, this is the traditional way, this is the non-zoo-phonics way, but this is a traditional way, is showing them a capital letter, and we always teach capital letters first, and then showing a lowercase letter at the same time. So now here are little tiny kids that are having to cope with two visuals and have to memorize two different shapes. The way we are still teaching children across America, we're still doing this. And so zoo-phonics 20 years ago, again, in Gigi's class, turned that around and said, no, that's not the way children learn best. Let's hit the bullseye with our teaching. Let's do the very best we can with these children so that they can get it younger than normally, so that they can get that foundation. The worst thing I can think of is a child who feels stupid when they're 5 years old, and there are children in kindergarten who feel stupid. And that's the worst. That's the worst I can possibly think of. It's a terrible thing. So our whole goal is to make them feel so good and so successful and so accomplished. And we're going to do that. Because instead of our kids falling through the cracks and not being successful in preschool, kindergarten, first grade on up, they are feeling terrific because they are understanding what the teacher's teaching them. Because we're going to lay this wonderful foundation for them. And you get to do it in the home.